I'm Catherine Connor, and I'm a volunteer with the Arlington Food Assistance Center. I'm head gardener with what's known as the Walter Reed Garden. I work with their Plot Against Hunger program. I have been growing food for AFAC there with the help of many AFAC volunteers for about 3 years now. I started by volunteering at this garden, and I really didn't know anything about gardening, particularly vegetable gardening. We come for 2-hour sessions. So what are we finding here? The goal is to harvest, if there's anything to be harvested, to bag, so that when we bring the harvest to AFAC, no one needs to do the extra work of portioning and bagging and doing that. It's already done. And then to make sure that the garden is in appropriate shape. We're going to fill the rain barrels. We always need to weed because weeds are what happens in a garden. If we have time, we might deal with the compost. Plants do well if you feed them well. If you have good soil, plants will generally do pretty well. It's a nice basil. We should deliver some. You want to eat some? It makes me feel good that I can do a little bit to provide fresh produce to people who are clients of AFAC. Food insecurity is a situation people are in where they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. It can be related to the fact that food is unaffordable where they are. It can be related to the fact that there is no grocery store within, let's say, long walking distance from where they live. We are now in summer when school is closed. So you have that added burden for some families that during the year their children eat lunch at school. They may not have any other meals, but they eat lunch at school. And now there is no lunch. I think a lot of people see Arlington County as being a rich county in the area. So there tends to be an assumption that there are few people who are food insecure. There are few people who live in poverty and cannot make ends meet. And that's not the case. At AFAC, there are probably about 2,000 or 2,300 families that are being served every week. And that's probably between 8,000 and 10,000 people. And about a third of the clients of AFAC are children. I'm very privileged. I grew up in a family that was comfortable. I grew up in Switzerland, and I have never known hunger, and I don't think it's right for people to face that. I don't quite know how we fix it, because you have to fix it as a root cause. People need to have a living wage. I find it disturbing that any country that is a really rich country has so many people who live in poverty, so many children who suffer from poverty. We should be able to be a community. We should be able to take care of all of our neighbors. And it's true that today we don't do that, yesterday we didn't do that. I don't know that tomorrow we'll do that. I sometimes feel bad that I don't get involved in policy issues or in trying. I don't think I can get involved in national issues. But I could get involved at a policy level in Arlington. It would be interesting, but I'm not sure I'd have the patience. I'm not sure I'd have now the humph. But I feel like I can make a difference in planning things and organizing them. While it's a little bit of a drop in a bucket, many drops in a bucket will make a full bucket. So it's a worthwhile drop in a bucket. The garden has done well, and so I can't take credit for how well it does, because we have all these volunteers who come work the garden.
Oh, I saw a mouse in there.
A mouse?
Mm-hmm. He was
Hi,
running
mouse.
up in there.
Oh, you found a new home. Many people who come help don't know anything about gardening, so they don't even know how to harvest. I didn't know how to harvest certain plants when I started. I will have you do something else with me. I think what's important is for people to be interested in helping, and then they can learn. You don't have to be an expert to go help, basically. That was a lesson for me. I might be inching closer to participating at the county level in some policy discussions. I will need to arm myself with patience, but I might be inching closer to that. Yes.